Hello there, friends. Is everybody off the break we had after the championship in Saudi Arabia? Well, it's time to dive back in action. Qualifiers are in full swing, whereas tournaments are happening on the Tier 2 scene, while many other teams are preparing for the ESL Pro League and the transition to CS2. Overall, there's been a lot of content provided. We have a new version of Akuma, discussions about why Nefani is better than Electronic, and even how Simple was affected by a flashbang for the first time. There's a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. As always, we will begin with the roster shuffles. What's happening with the future lineup of TSM? As you know, they gathered a top roster including Cypher, Inters, Jax, Valde, Modo, and all of this managed by Extaz. However, it seems that they don't need TSM at all, they're just playing on their own and enjoying themselves without making any announcements. But Jax hinted on Twitter that the contracts might have been signed. But with whom? And just listen to this, according to Hirumi, it's David Beckham's organization, Guild Esports. As you already might know, David Beckham has a football club, Inter Miami, which is based in North America, and it's where Messi now plays. And a couple of years ago, he entered the esports scene with Guild Esports. They previously had a very good roster in the Rocket League, and they also have a CSGO female team, so it seems that the time has come. And they've also hinted on their social media that they're breaking into CS2. However, things don't seem to be that straightforward, according to another insider. Nell posted Harumi's tweet and said that that's not true. No further information was provided, so we're waiting to see what happens with this ex or future TSM lineup. Moving on to the next interesting news from Hirumi. According to him, NiKo was actually approached by Navi during the off-season. Here's what Hirumi said. "I think it's safe to say that this is confirmed info, it was 100% true. He was approached by Navi, but they only approached him, not Hunter. Honestly, he wasn't interested, not even joining alongside Hunter. They might have negotiated here and there, but since Hunter wasn't approached, he didn't even consider it. In theory, it could have resulted in an interesting lineup, for example, NiKo replacing Ime. It would have been a strong team." Currently, there's a lot of questions about Ime's performance, as the runner-up of the Paris Major is nowhere near showing the same numbers. For example, Overdrive keeps mentioning everywhere that he needs to be changed, he doesn't fit Blade's system. Let's see what conclusions will be drawn from the ESL Pro League. Friends, I have another fantastic news for you. My partner, MyCSGO, gives away free cases. What do you need to do? Well, it's as simple as possible, just add $2 to your account. Well, the more you top up, the more free cases you get, and they drop 3 at a time. I haven't seen such generosity yet, and if you get skins of no interest, you can immediately trade them in a contract or upgrade to get an amazing skin. You can repeat that every day. The website has a special provably fair system so that you can check any operation, everything is open. They have been in the game since forever and you can find thousands of reviews on Google. The bonuses don't end there. You can receive a gift every day, and by using my unique promo code in the pinned comment, you will get additional one. Also, if you use live news as a promo code, you will get up to 40% bonus for all your top-ups. It's just too good to be true, isn't it? But here we are. Click on the link in the pinned comment to get it all. Thank you, my dear kind friends, for watching the ad. Let's move on. And continuing about G2, more news has arrived. Remember how MONESY said that the club paid for him more than everyone thinks? Like it wasn't $600,000? But the rumor has it, it was around $1 million, possibly one of the most expensive transfers in CSGO history. However, Overdrive claims differently. According to his information, MONESY was worth between $600,000 and $800,000. In my opinion, G2 has already made their investment back several times over, and now MONESY is likely worth over $1 million. And you won't believe it, but the story about G2 doesn't end there. Remember, there was a time when everyone talked about Boomich in this team. After Navi, he could have easily become the captain of G2. There were many rumors about it, but here's what Boomich himself said in an interview with HLTV. "After Navi, I just chilled. I didn't feel like playing CSGO for 5 months straight. Officially, Navi didn't put me up for transfer. I found out if I could inquire with other teams about a transfer, and they gave me permission. At that point, I sent several messages to Ocelot, the former CEO of G2. He asked me about 5 questions, like where I would live if I joined and so on. Then he went on Twitter and said that nothing had happened. But I think everything could have happened." Now, what do you think? Could G2 have achieved more with Boomich than with Hooksy? Share your thoughts in the comments, we'll discuss. And since we started talking about Boomich, here's some news about his team. It seems that one win encountered the new Akuma, they even dubbed it Akuma 2.0. We're talking about Victory Zigzag. Bubble plays there, who was once linked to numerous dubious Bulgarian teams. It all began when the lineup appeared seemingly out of nowhere and unexpectedly made it to the closed qualifiers of IEM Sydney. Just to give you context, teams like Furia, Spirit, Falcons and the like didn't make it, but some unknowns from Victory Zigzag did. Obviously, this raised questions. But, you know, maybe they were just the new talents on the rise who would conquer the tier 1 scene, even they're all over 30. You know, anything is possible. And so the closed qualifiers came, and the guys had a tough time against 9 and ended up in the lower bracket where they faced Boomich. That's when things got strange. As NiKo writes, the HOTV delay was 0 seconds. One win was leading 8-1 on Mirage, and then suddenly something happened. They were simply getting wiped out, and they only got 4 rounds afterwards. Then on Nuke there was an unexpected turnaround, and later Victory Zigzag secured a confident win on Ancient. In short, their gameplay was too inconsistent. At times they dominated and other times they couldn't do anything. This led to investigations. It turned out that one of their players most likely caught a very high betting odd at 8-1 on Mirage. It was like 10-1, and he placed bets on a win, then on a loss on Nuke, and on a win on Ancient. It resulted in a considerable winning amount for just one match. Following this, many bookmakers banned them and the team's reputation took a hit. Boomich called them Akuma 2.0 and NiKo was quite vocal about it too. Additionally, Kurumi chimed in, stating that the former Force player Almazer was supposed to be part of this lineup, however that never happened due to one moment. Almazer wanted to stream their matches, but Bubble was against it. As a result, Almazer had to leave the team. Understandably, this isn't strong evidence, but now almost everyone is convinced that they were match fixing and profiting from it. Interestingly, Aurora also caught a very suspicious stack called Red Pack.
Как будто они хотят выходить только после килла Андера. Понятно, все, идите на... Просто сыны обезьян. Не надо оскорблять обезьян, сыны бутылок. Просто сыны бутылок.
Well, in general, the Tier 2 scene, as always, is filled with strange incidents and accusations. But by the way, our scandals don't end there. Remember those guys from ESIC? Remember the coaching bug and the bans? It seemed to be 100 years ago, but they are still dancing around that topic. The head of ESIC came to an interview at a YouTube channel and announced that they will ban several more coaches from the Tier 2-3 scene by the end of the year. The exact number isn't specified, it could be 2-3 coaches or maybe even a couple of dozen. All this time they've been reviewing demos and trying to find the culprits. It seems like they want to ruin a few more careers by the release of CS2. Well, what's else in the news? We have a couple of interesting interviews ahead, but first, let's take a look at how Simple was killed for the first time in his career with a flashbang.
I'm on HP in window, guys. I'm dead soon. What the fuck?
And besides, Simple, along with other players, took part in several surveys regarding the greatest player in history and the comparison between CSGO and Valorant. Take a look at the results for yourself.
Which one is harder to play, CSGO or Valorant?
I'll say Valorant.
I'll say Valorant. Even if it's an easy game, you have to shoot at the f***ing dogs, the f***ing eyes everywhere.
CSGO for sure. The shooting was way easier in Valorant.
Valorant at first. You see bird, dogs, new dog, I don't know. It's really hard to play.
I would say Valorant. It's hard to play. You can spray in that game.
It's a kid games, but it's still like really annoying.
Who's the GOAT of CSGO?
Second after me, I would say Device. And Zebu is very, very close.
There's two main candidates, it's either Device or Simple. For humans, I would put Device as good.
It has to be Zaibu.
Simple. Gotta be Simple, right? Zaibu or Simple?
I would say Simple.
Relatively simple.
I would give it a simple.
Simple device, it's hard to choose.
I would say simple.
Who's the GOAT of CSGO?
Gods, simple. Almost 10 years, he's been the best.
Not yourself?
Not yet.
And Zewu is very, very close.
Simple.
Zehu? I'll go for Zehu.
Yeah, probably simple, right?
Simple?
Simple.
Mine is Forest.
Simple, but I would come close.
1.6 also.
1.6 also.
Alright, I would say simple.
So, most people still consider Simple the greatest player in CSGO history, however, a lot can change in CS2. And to wrap it up, I have an interview from Electronic. He gave it to the Cloud9 YouTube channel, so you can watch it there, but for now I've picked the most interesting parts for you. We tried to develop a new system, combine Cloud9 and Navi, find a balance. It's easier for me to build a new system in Cloud9. In Navi, a lot depended on Blade. Many players want more freedom. I like how I manage, but there's a lot for me to work on. Let's hope that Electronic will finally find his way and the Cloud9 roster will start winning. And I'd like to conclude the video with the results of IEM Sydney qualifiers. Only 2 teams out of 8 candidates will advance to the main stage. Surprisingly, those teams turned out to be Apex and Nafani's team, BB. NIP, 9, 1 win, and even OG didn't make it. The main tournament will feature all the top CS teams except Heroic, so it's a huge victory for the new Nafani team. The guys are on cloud 9 from happiness. By the way, they managed to win the final round with a 2v5 situation. The guys showed impressive teamwork and game sense, especially considering that the roster is only 2 weeks old.
Can get recovered. 9 on check. No more mistakes. Group together, use your util. Play as a team. Do not allow individual duels anymore. Siren Peaks, double headshot, last resorte. And Bet Boom are going to Sydney.
Congratulations to the guys, this is their first major LAN championship. They defeated OG, NAP and 9, so the journey was quite challenging. Initially, Nafani stated that their goal was to disrupt the plans of other teams. But it seemed like the guys went all out. They secured a spot in the LAN event in Australia. That's all from me, friends. We're looking forward to ESL Pro League. And hey, by the way, in the coming days I will release a promised extensive video about Cloud9 and their new roster, where I will discuss their strengths and weaknesses. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel so you not miss it. Thank you, my friends, for watching me. Hit that like button, and I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.